So if you are building a 3D printer dry box, there are a couple things you can do to improve how it performs over the long term. The most obvious is, of course, putting in desiccant with the little color indicating packets that'll tell you the humidity status of your dry box. The whole point is that it's supposed to be dry. I also found a digital humidity indicator for mine. It's reading 37% with the box open. I think it reads 0% with it sealed up after a few hours with that desiccant in there. The little Teflon tubing is really important, not just for the sealing, but also notice how I have it going all the way back kind of to the end of the back of the spool there. What normally happens, especially with these AIO spools, is they tend to snap right here in the section that's mechanically stretched off the spool. It's fine on the spool itself, but after a couple weeks of it just sitting here, it will break sometimes, like right in this section. That's really annoying with respect to the fact that then the spool can then unwind itself and tangle. So if it overlaps itself, it'll end up in a knot in the middle of one of your prints, which is bad. So this section going all the way towards the back here should hopefully prevent that, so that if it winds up breaking in here, I can take the lid off the box and then feed some more filament through without a chance of it becoming tangled up. That's kind of a small improvement I made when I opened this to refill it, so I have to let you know in the long term how that works out. The box itself, I put some weather stripping around the outside. This particular, it's just a really hard rubber. I had some actual foam insulation on there, and this box was giving me a lot of trouble having to change the desiccant out more often than its counterpart here, which is where I also use that thick rubber stuff. It was actually sold as deck waterproofing. In the back, I have an entire huge sock full of desiccant, actually. In addition to the little blue packets. I'm using the little blue packets for color indicating only. This go around, I think the sock is going to keep this probably dry for 6 months before it starts to turn pink. And that's all rechargeable just by putting it in your oven. You just take it out of the sock first. And then other than that, the little nozzles I found were from a print from Thingiverse. You could easily make your own around the diameter of that little tube, and then just use some small self-tapping screws that you can buy on Amazon. And then the spool holder itself is just a small PVC pipe and a couple of these little, same thing, found that on Thingiverse, except that's actually got little bolts in it instead of screws. So easy couple hour project, whatever, that you can do to enhance the quality and life of your filament, so it's not constantly cracking and spattering while you print, or breaking inside your filament feeder tube. And then as far as how this thing looks in action, what I found to be really successful is you can literally just pull it up like that to the printer, and it, when it's in operation, it actually just looks just like that. Works perfectly. Comes up around the back of the printer through the feed tubes. The QIDI Tech printer that I'm using does not seem to care how much tension you put on the filament. It's not sensitive to that. It doesn't affect the print. Here, other printers are affected by that, so if that's a concern, just put your dry box in a place where it has more direct access to the printer. But for convenience sake, with two boxes of filament down there, 10 different colors I can pick from at any given time, and this amount of space, my tiny little office, I'm pretty happy with how it's worked out. Hasn't really given me any trouble. Best of luck if you decide to build your own.